Hello, you beautiful people. My name is Davi. I'm joined by Abe and Charlie. Welcome back to another Tony Tuesday.
How you doing?
For our viewers and listeners, we hope you guys are doing well. Just a quick heads up, this episode is also available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, specifically the discussion portion of the show. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing, hitting that notification bell so that you can be notified when we have a new upload. And also, y'all, don't forget to like this video and also share it with your loved ones and people who are fans of The Sopranos.
Also, if you want this uncut and you want to watch along the entire episode with us, you have two options now. It used to be just one, but now you have two. We are on Patreon, which the link is in the description, or you can become a member here on YouTube. There's a join button now next to the subscribe button. Both of them cost $5 a month. You'll get every single episode we do uncut, which means that we'll give you a countdown. You have to have your own copy of the episode, and then you can watch along its entirety with us.
Yeah, buddy. Abe and Charlie, how y'all doing?
We're good. I'm glad I didn't have to do, I'm glad the two of us didn't have to do that intro by ourselves this time.
Facts. Y'all keep yelling at him.
I'm
missing
sorry, y'all.
for missing.
I'm sorry, y'all.
You
Create
missed
the worst episode to miss.
I know. So,
You missed Ralphie getting whacked.
all right. I'm going to rant for give me a couple minutes, y'all.
Just don't worry, I'll edit it
Just edit this.
into 3 words.
Oh, edit it to 3 words. So this Sunday I told you guys to record without me. I checked the IMDb and I saw it and I was like, oh my
It's
God.
like a 9.3
Yeah,
or something
and
like
I was
that.
like, oh, I know this one's gonna be ridiculous. Like it's gonna be so good, so
Yeah,
good.
that was.
And the reason why I was out was because my family were in the middle of moving. We have moved already, and also I caught a cold and I was really, really sick. So that's why I wasn't here, and I'm so sorry, y'all. But I did.
Soft.
Hey, Charlie has missed some episodes.
I'm kidding.
I'm just kidding.
I've missed several
I never
episodes.
miss.
Yeah,
I'm always here.
perfect attendance.
I get an A for attendance. That's all I bring is just being present.
But at the end of the day, it's all about, keeping up with the schedule. And that's something we're committed to. So we just want to make sure we get these episodes out on Tuesdays, weekly based. Man, y'all, that episode was phenomenal. I watched it last night, which would be Tuesday, July 2nd. There is 2 episodes when I think of The Sopranos from what we're up to date on. 2 recent episodes that I always think about that really impacted me was the Dr. Melfi episode. She was assaulted. That one really stands out to me. And also when they whacked Pussy.
Mm-hmm.
Those 2 episodes are ones that really hit me just in terms of what was happening in the episode, the context, the narrative, everything. But this one is wow. It
Yeah.
was an absolute masterpiece. I think it was one of the best hours of television I've ever seen. There's a lot in other shows that I've said that, and this is one that I think will live on forever for me. I just think with the past 3 seasons and now the buildup that this season has been and taking their time in developing Ralph, I don't think we've had that in these last 3 seasons compared to Ralph. And what a just wow, just absolute. And also, this episode was really funny.
It was.
It was really funny.
really funny.
It was really funny. But again, just everything that was happening was just insane. The whole symbolism with the with animals and that being addressed, and also Ralph's perspective of what was happening with his son. And I think what is so crazy is that we know that Ralph is a horrible human being. He's the worst of them all. We know that in the mob as well. A lot of these guys, we know that they're not the best. They're not the best. But when you see someone go through what Ralph was going through with his son, you cannot be like, damn,
Yeah,
I
you
feel
got some
bad.
sort of empathy.
And I think that's so good. What was so good in this episode was that how even Tony and the rest of his crew, except for Paulie, had some sympathy for him. And everyone in that moment, you're like, yeah, but deep down, you know who this guy really is, right? But I think that's really, really good to address narratively and showcasing just how we're humans, man. And I think this episode just did a really good job. It was so good. It was so good.
Yeah, it was really good.
So freaking good. All right, y'all, but that's my rant. But it was, I want to watch it again.
Well, too damn bad. We have a schedule to keep up.
We got to keep up with it. Yeah, I had described Ralph in the past as a mobster's Joker, and that's who he is, bro. That's who he is. And to see him go out like that, and also the process, they finally showed us the process of when they whack someone,
Yeah,
what
the
they
whole
do,
thing.
the
Yeah,
entire.
that's what Charlie talked about.
And I thought that was really nice. And also, what was really funny is seeing Christopher Hyde through all of it.
Bro. This man was zonked. Oh my God, that was so good.
Because
I did that.
because Tony can use that as an advantage, and I think he got Christopher, I think, in the best scenario possible, in my opinion.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, him high, just absolutely like Tony was able to control the situation. I think a lot more if Christopher was sober.
That's kind of true. I was looking at, thinking back at it now, like Christopher would have probably been
Questioning it a lot more
and kind of panicky, maybe in the situation. I don't know.
Tony like roasting him and telling him, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing drugs." Like I think that really helped Tony's perspective and
he was
controlling the
Him
situation.
being high and stuff, I think he was kind of just in like an autopilot type of mode. So
He's like, "Yeah, I just got to get the job done."
but I did say, I was concerned of like, is he really being careful and thorough because
Yeah,
he's
that was
high?
Charlie's
Yes,
thing.
exactly.
So I wonder if they'll
This will
visit
come
that or
back,
not.
yeah.
But yeah,
My take was like, I thought because Tony was there, he'd probably check all the steps, but you never know. Tony was probably also a little bit out of it.
They were both
based on
out of
what he
it.
did. I mean, like Tony puked right after he killed
Yeah.
Ralphie, like that whole thing.
he had poison, like ant poison, sprayed in his eyes. So they were both disoriented in different ways. But
yeah, great episode though.
Really good episode.
Yeah.
Really good episode.
Don't miss anymore.
No, no.
Kidding. Shit happens.
check the IMDb.
Just check the
before.
IMDb.
Check the IMDb before.
All right, yeah.
Really, what would people be more mad about? Davi missing or us missing a Tuesday?
Missing you Tuesday. Yeah.
Pull
we gotta
down
look
below.
at it.
No,
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
With that being said, Abe, can you read the comments from our previous episode? And you can read out all the ones where they said, "Oh, where's Davi? You should have been here."
No, I'm not reading any of
Throw
those.
them on the screen now.
Not reading any of those. The first comment comes from Poshana, and it says, "Hell of a one to miss, Davi."
I'm dead.
Sad
He
face.
included it.
Sad. Yeah. Had to.
Yeah.
There was plenty.
There's a lot
I had
of
24 likes on that one. So yeah, this one comes from Guitar for Jesus 945. It says,
What a username. Love that.
yeah, Michael Imperioli said on Talking Sopranos that when he said "I didn't," his tongue stuck to the roof of his mouth, and it accidentally came out that way. Also, while on Talking Sopranos, David Chase confirmed that Ralph did kill Piomai. So that's my bad, because I thought there was like some sort of motive for Paulie to have killed the horse in the episode, just based on the things that we saw. But it sounds like Chase has confirmed at one point that, it was.
He confirmed it later on though.
He confirmed this. There's another comment that says it was like a year or two ago.
Oh,
so
really? Some
Yeah.
people were debating.
Recently,
So,
yeah.
low-key-
They left it open for
Low
interpretation.
key, that's kind of a spoiler.
Well, I mean,
I don't know if we're gonna find
Well,
out.
no, because you would, if he confirmed it a year ago, then that means that it was never confirmed in the show.
Okay.
So the
But
writers,
like I'm saying,
they
like-
intentionally left it for interpretation.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Well-
but like it's good for us to not have to continuously debate that in the background
Yeah.
if it's not an actual plot point.
You can suspect it, the reasoning makes sense. Somebody said the reason behind it is because of the insurance money. And
Yeah.
he would have used the insurance money to help for his kids' treatment. So when you look at that side of things, that makes sense.
And the last one here comes from Late Cambrian, and it says, "She was a beautiful, innocent creature. Tony never forgave Ralph for killing the girl at the Bing." And I think Charlie actually mentioned that because we saw the pic. Was it a picture of
It was
her?
a picture of her at the end, yeah.
At the end of the show, and that was obviously very intentional. I don't think we did a good enough job touching on it, but I do think that was probably the overarching motive for what made Tony so pissed off, because that's the reason that he put hands on Ralph in the first occasion that he did
Yeah.
it. And I think the horse, obviously Tony has an affinity for animals, but it was really the straw that broke the camel's back. There was
Yeah.
other things with Ralph.
Yeah.
Mainly, I think Tracy was the name of the girl.
Yes.
That was the...
Yeah, there's another comment that I noticed on there. Someone left that.
When we watched that episode,
Yeah.
and it said that's very intentional, and you'll find out why later.
Yeah.
And that's so true, because the two are very connected. It was like Tony had this like affinity or love or some sort of like empathy towards both of these creatures. One being, this woman who probably reminded him of his daughter, and then, the other being a beautiful horse. And Ralphie had to do with the killing of both of them. So
Yeah.
set him over the edge.
And I think something we can't forget is that Tony broke the rule again, and it was
Yes.
with Ralphie again.
But the only person that knows
Is Christopher.
Christopher. So.
Yeah.
And Christopher was high, getting absolutely ridiculed by Tony.
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna shut up. I don't think he'll do anything.
Let's see.
He always seems to speak when I least expect it. Like, he always
That
seems
is
to
true.
say the
Yeah.
shit that I'm like, why are you like commenting on this?
Yeah.
But I think he takes it serious, because
Yeah.
he's his one true confidant now. He knows that that's expected of him. So
Yeah.
fingers crossed that he can figure it out.
Also, I went back and like rewatched a couple scenes and stuff. I don't know if you guys noticed, but like from the very start of the episode, like when they're in the hospital, they're foreshadowing his Ralphie's death by choke. the entire time. Like they get into an altercation with his ex-wife, whatever. Tony pins him up against the wall. He's like, choking him. Yeah. And
and also the filmmaking in that episode was phenomenal.
yeah, really good.
The scene where Ralphie was running to get to his son, and it went to like I think it went with like a super wide lens, and that was a really nice scene. Reminded me a lot of Terrence Malick. He does that a lot.
Let's watch the next one.
Let's do it. With that being said, y'all, episode 10.
The strong silent type.
We've heard that reference before.
Yeah. There was another comment about the horse symbolizing Tracy, obviously, but then the goat being Ralph.
And like, because goats symbolize like
The devil or evil or whatever.
Just interesting. I never thought about that. I thought that was more rams.
And if you think about it, when Tony first he gets the call that she's really sick, needs a doctor or whatever, he goes to comfort her and whatnot after she got her treatment, and then the goat just shows up out of nowhere. And it's kind of like she's laying down there as if dead, and then the goat shows up, and it's like, this is who did it. You could look at it that way, I guess.
I could barely hear you because the song is mad loud, but I think I got what you said.
Was last episode your favorite episode so far that we've seen?
For this season, yes.
For this season. It's going to be interesting when we finish it to look back and see what episodes we like the most.
Honestly, I still love the one where they killed Pussy. I think that's one of my favorite.
Yeah.
That was really good, man.
Ding Kong.
Christopher again. Gotta be.
It's like I'm watching Breaking Bad in the background, and it's like I'm watching it here too. Jesse Pinkman, Tony, Walter White. It's got a freaking junkie to rely on.
Oh my God.
Don't sit on the dog.
Oh no.
I don't think he realized.
Definitely not.
He just killed a dog.
Yo. Oh, we're in this era of the 2000s.
With the short
This
bob
haircut,
cut, whatever.
Yeah, this is a Karen cut for sure.
Where's Furio?
He couldn't get a flight out of Rome in time, so I'm driving again today.
Come on in. He'll be right down.
I cannot believe he killed that dog.
I mean, I hope the dog's not dead.
That dog's dead.
Reminds me of Kate Gosselin, the John Kate plus 8 woman. You guys know her from TLC way back in the day?
I've heard, yeah.
That
somewhat.
haircut.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy.
That guy just reminded me of Joe Pesci a little bit, the way he was talking.
Cut it. What do you think?
I thought we agreed that you were going to talk to me first if you were going to do something to your hair.
What do you think of it?
Freaky Friday.
Makes you look younger.
Benny's waiting for you.
Come up with the rest of our money, or I'll strip the lard of your ugly.
That zoom is so crazy.
Oh, yeah, the dog's
It's
dead.
dead.
Gonna find it. I wonder if he's still
Gonna
sitting on
find
it.
him sitting on the dog.
Oh my God.
Cosette! Come on, Mommy.
He's gone.
I don't even want to watch this, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Where's the dog?
You shut the TV?
He's gonna freak out. He's gonna go off.
Oh my God. Cosette?
What?
Christopher! She's not breathing. Her neck feels broken. Oh my God! She's dead.
I fell asleep.
What?
She must have crawled under there for warmth.
Are you fucking crazy? You fucking killed her.
I didn't kill her. I must have sat on her.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my poor baby.
How long I've been saying she shouldn't be on the furniture?
Oh my
Because you were
god.
fucking high, Christopher.
Now imagine if he had a child.
I'll get
Right.
you another dog.
I don't want another dog.
Tony said last episode.
I thought he was gonna freak back out on her, but damn. I wonder if this is gonna give her more motivation to cooperate.
Nobody's heard from Ralph.
Nobody has heard of him.
Try the gay man's quiet. I read they were having tryouts today.
Nobody's heard from Ralph, man.
Nah, I
For
haven't,
real?
man.
Crazy. He looks like shit.
What's going on? Just calling Ralph.
Leave a message and make sure you leave your phone number. With my schedule, I cannot look up phone numbers.
Answer machine again. How you doing? Feeling all right? Me? Yeah. Great.
Yep, believable. 100%. I believe him.
Oh,
No shit.
the portrait.
Where you going? Tom. Good shot. What you doing?
That's a forfeit. That's our money.
What timing to receive that portrait?
Bing.
Get rid of that fucking picture.
What? You don't want to...
hear me? Burn it. I never want to see the fucking thing again.
6,500 down the drain.
Yeah, deadass. All'Italia.
Furio.
Straight to Burger King.
Hey, man. What else represents America the
Burger
greatest?
King and an
bro?
American flag is very...
Welcome home. U.S. flags
I
everywhere.
don't
Is it
think he
4th of
feels
July?
out of place.
4th of
That's what
July
I'm
here.
getting from that.
If it's 4th of July, that's crazy timing.
Shit with his kid. Probably down in the bunker.
I tell you, if I didn't know better.
We're off the record here, Albert.
We're off the record. It's Tony.
Oh, my God.
Already?
Suspecting.
Am I wrong?
Honestly, I don't know.
This is bad, my friend. I mean, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't piss on this Ralph if he was on fire. But to whack the guy over a horse, how fucked up is that?
It happened to him, it can happen to any of us.
Yeah, this is the concern Christopher was talking about.
What can you do? Tony's the boss. Centuries of tradition here.
Exactly my point. If Tony did do this, whack Ralph over a fucking horse, that guy'd be the first guy online to pull his fucking plug.
Now kiss.
Brother.
Yo.
I wait in the car.
Oh. Well, welcome back.
I bring presents. Also, for the grown-ups, I bring some of my uncle's wine. But it's come later.
I just made some coffee, you sure?
Thank you. But I wait in the car.
This man is, he's swooning.
I mean, whoever, was it his uncle, grandfather, whoever he was talking to?
Yeah, I think it was his uncle.
Gave him a fair warning.
Hey, where he wrote.
Well, yeah.
Did it say Mado?
Yeah, the way he wrote Meadow's name.
Yeah, that's funny.
Why is she opening everybody else's gifts, bro?
Wants to know what he got the kids. That's funny. We've all gotten one of those weird keychains that a family member gave.
He didn't get anything for her.
Well, for the adults, he's bringing
He's your wine.
The wine, yeah.
Wow.
You better do a better job of wiping those tears, buddy.
How are you? Said for my father. All right, but you gotta get over it.
Well, it's a good one. Yeah, that helps.
Go and wrap the paper. There she is.
There's no way. Bro.
God, I'm.
With her head held high and her ears perked up. Now I am smiling.
I don't think we've seen him cry in therapy.
Tears are gone.
Still, I gotta be the sad clown.
What I'm trying to establish is your response to sadness is usually rage, not humor.
Well, you two don't have to trouble yourselves, because I doubled my dosage.
I don't want you taking 80 milligrams of Prozac.
You kick it up to 80 for a week, 10 days. Go back in the stick, get the nose up, and you duck back down to 40 before the limp dick thing sets in.
Let's get back to Pai Oh My. It's sad that you've lost something that you love. That being said, it is a horse.
What the fuck is the matter with you?
The only other time you've become this emotional in here, it was those ducks.
That was different. That was a whole different thing. They were ducks.
Is it different? You haven't grieved in this way for people.
Mm.
Your mother, your best friend.
Can't I just be sad for a horse without some touchy-feely, Freudian shit component to it? My nephew. I love that kid like I love my son. But I think he's got a drug problem. Heroin. And it kills me just to say it because I got so many hopes tied up in this kid. And this 9/11 shit, I don't know. You know, the shit that's going on everywhere. It's like some fucking asshole stuck in the whole human race.
Anthony, do any of your associates think about any of this?
I don't know. We don't talk about it. I know it's fucking ridiculous, but I feel like the Reverend Rodney King Jr., you know? Why can't we all just get along?
What's ridiculous about it?
Come on, don't jerk me off. This is me you're talking to.
You've caused much suffering yourself, haven't you?
My wife prays to God. What kind of God does this shit?
He doubled down.
A lot of guys get cold feet.
He's fucking stoned on H all the time, okay?
She gave it up.
You know, we put you guys on the mailing list for Hazelden.
That rehab shit. That's where all those brochures are coming from? From you?
Convince him he needs help, that he should be in rehab. Oh, look at you with that little face.
That's sad.
Yeah.
No glare, high definition. I was watching on the waterfront downstairs. Carl Malden's nose hairs look like fucking BX cables.
And that was back then. Now we got 4K.
That was in the age of plasma, though. Plasma was fire.
Plasma was really good, yeah.
Oh my god,
Goodness.
he looks terrible, bro.
Look where he's going.
Is he going to a trap house? Jesus Christ.
Is this where he's getting his drugs from?
I don't know.
You doing this gag? 500. Yeah, wrap it up.
The f out the car, bitch. Motherfucker, you know who I am? You know who the f I'm with? You ain't no fucking cop, that's for sure. You gonna do with that, bitch? Stick it up your mother's twat.
Oh. With a kid's toy, bro, with a little xylophone. It's crazy.
Just hear the notes.
Oh my god. Baby, what happened?
Got jacked by some spicks. Took his ride, his fucking watch, too.
Christopher, you're bleeding.
Stop touching it.
Does she think I could get some money?
What?
He's good people, Adrian.
I took him home, you know, he was all fucked up, but I straightened him out. It was me $30.
Get the fuck out of here.
What?
Adrian.
Get out of my house.
Don't stick me on this, man.
Get out.
What's the matter with you?
The guy's my friend.
That's your friend?
Looks like just another junkie that he knows.
Hazelden? What's this?
It came for you in the mail.
Oh.
Recovery? You put me on mailing list for junkies? No! Huh? Where do you get your balls, huh? Where?
Jesus Christ. Bro.
Oh, what are you doing? What? Still said torture.
Polly.
Horse with the trees, wooden frame, 25 to 30 G's at a minimum.
No way. This guy's stupid.
Put it in my car. I'll take it home.
Oh, God.
Frame's already busted.
Wow.
Remember we were saying that Ralphie's the worst of the worst? I'm starting to feel like Christopher is, man. I'm not going to lie. Pretty low on my totem pole.
Mm-hmm.
What up?
Your nephew.
Christopher did this? He hit you? What for?
What's the
He was
difference,
high.
Tony?
Little prick. Gonna wring his fucking neck. Where is he?
He's been using drugs. Heroin.
Who's this? Where's Christopher, asshole?
Yeah, his phone.
Oh, his car was stolen by some Puerto Ricans. They took his cell phone, too. I don't know what to do.
3 weeks before their wedding.
Maybe he needs to be in rehab.
You can hire someone to do an intervention, apparently.
Girls, come on. We're a family here. Take it easy. Let me figure out how to handle this.
Please don't hurt him.
Crazy. Even after that, she doesn't want him to go through any pain. He doesn't deserve her.
No, not at all. This man actually hanging around.
Bruh. The minute that Tony walks up in there, Polly's getting punched.
I don't think Tony ever really shows up to this place that we've seen.
But you never know when he's going to need him. Show up there.
Why am I always having to come here?
You want to come in?
Poor AJ, dude.
Yo.
Furio's gonna need to buy a Nintendo for this man to keep busy.
This is like that age where you're like a teen, but you can't quite yet get your driver's license, and your mom still carries you.
Sucks.
Forces you to go
Blows.
places. Yeah, it's the worst.
You want something? Something to drink?
We gotta go.
We gotta go. That'd be me when I'm so mad at my mom. Like, we're leaving, actually.
I bring something, but I forgot it when I left that morning.
Oh, so you did
Balsamic
get her
vinegar. 35 years from my sister's husband's family.
So, aside from your dad, was it wonderful being back in Italy?
I gotta be honest, it was not so nice. I don't belong there no more. Something changed. Maybe me.
What do you mean?
I'm like a visitor in my own town. Life went on without me. There is nothing there for me now.
No special someone?
She's like lighting up, bro. Correct.
She's like, so you mean you're going to stay here for good?
You've made such a nice life for yourself, though. You've got a wonderful home, a girlfriend.
No.
No? What do you mean no? Jessica?
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean no? What do you mean no?
There is no communication like with some people. You know what I mean?
She knows.
Look at that, bro. She's stunned.
Where's Bronco? She jump ship already?
She's in hospital for a while. Cyst.
You know, we're gonna find out if Uncle Junior is gonna.
That's right.
Is actually not doing well.
Salud.
Needs ice.
Ice and red wine is crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you.
They're shook. he's like, nah, I gotta get out of here.
I wonder, is this as bad as like breaking pasta?
Probably.
Look at you. You got every excuse to be in the bottle. And here you are, designing websites.
What do you mean? What excuse?
Well, you're,
No, why?
Yeah. Tell us, Tony.
Come on, you know that.
Oh, my leg. I don't think of it right away.
I don't like the way he's looking at her.
They keep cutting back to Polly in his house.
Is grilled to perfection. This grill does all the work.
It's like constantly watching him now.
I wonder if Polly is going to have a different level of respect for Tony if he finds out that he killed Ralphie.
No.
Because he wanted to do it himself.
Reminds me of people's feet.
What?
Well, probably they step on the grapes, right? Or something. I don't know.
Me with the competency hearings. You with the head shrinkers. This one in rehab now.
He seems pretty lucid right now.
Yeah, seems.
Maybe it was just
fine.
like the onset of.
But the thing is, doesn't it happen in like spurts? Like it's just sporadic. Like one moment he might forget something.
I bring AJ with me. Now even he smells a rat.
Come out. If Tony suspects one iota, you know what'll happen if you're real. These guys are living in a different
She's
century.
talking about this.
Yeah.
We haven't slept together yet.
You're not f***ing him, so this isn't really real.
It is real. We communicate. He looks at me like I'm beautiful. He thinks I'm interesting when I talk. Just those few minutes when we see each other, I live for those.
Damn.
Yeah, she's smitten.
Damn.
If you haven't slept with him yet, don't. And don't go over there anymore.
Yeah, that's a good advice. Don't risk it.
Problem is, when you tell someone not to do something, they're a little more likely to do it.
Good afternoon. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dominic, and I'm an alcoholic and an addict.
Don't forget, scumbag.
I joined AA in prison, and frankly, it saved my life. Okay, now we're all here today because we have one thing in common. Not only do we share a certain background and culture, we also care about Chris and want to help him with his heroin addiction. Now, any one of you guys been involved in an intervention before?
Caught our daughter smoking pot once, but,
Not really, no.
No problem. Now, what I need from you guys is to make a list of the specific times where Christopher's drug use impacted on you directly.
What if he's high when we try to talk to him?
Then we wait till he's sober. During my first intervention, Stephen Petrano waited 10 hours for me to sober up.
Your first intervention?
In 1997, I suffered a relapse. As in heroin addiction, alcoholics suffer fairly high recidivism rate.
Great. So he's taking advice from a two-time loser.
There are no losers in recovery.
Oh my god. What is his beef with this guy?
Literally, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Back. Here she is. Johnny Sack.
Interesting.
So what's up? You make me late for a table tavern on the fucking green.
How's the real estate business?
Excuse me?
You know, HUD, Garside Street, you, Ralph, Zellman.
Someone tell you this?
Oh, Carmine doesn't know anything about this yet, Tony. I'm giving you an opportunity to cut a deal, make it right.
Last time, Frelinghuysen Avenue, I cut you in at a friendship. But that's over, John. You got nothing coming to you. You or Carmine.
You sure you want to go down this road, Tony?
Oh boy.
So you found out about the project.
Housing and urban development scheme.
They want to cut.
Oh, no.
How much to paint a different suit on him? Change his face a little. Pardon me? Why throw it away? Something classy, you know, like a Revolutionary War general. Napoleon and his horse. That kind of thing.
I swear, if all he does is put like a general's outfit on Tony.
So stupid.
They gonna know what happened to Ralph. And if I'm right, he ain't coming back. It was New York.
Johnny Sack? What was it? A fat joke?
Sure that didn't help. This hunting we're into, they wanted a piece of it.
Oh, yikes.
Oh my God.
Before we do anything, in terms of payback, you go to your people. I want a full investigation. Nobody makes a move till we know what happened.
That's crazy.
That's gotta backfire, right? There's no way.
Oh, yeah.
Yo.
What's going on?
This episode's going at like 1,000,000 miles a minute.
I know you don't know me, but
Yeah, you're the guy who broke into Stu Leonard's that time. You stole all those pork loins.
yeah.
You do know.
Christopher, we're here to talk about your drug problem.
What? Jesus Christ, you fucking kidding me?
Sorry, baby, please.
No, fuck this shit.
You've been told once. Now sit down.
Sit down.
Ooh, yeah.
Ma? Jesus.
Oh, wow. They got his mom there? That's crazy.
But I want you to know that we're here today because we care about you.
What was this, your idea?
All we ask is that you listen.
Christopher, I love you very much. My only dream is that we have a happy life together. The last few months, things have got very bad with us because of you using drugs all the time. When we first started going out, we made love all the time. Now, because of the drugs,
Jesus, is this fucking necessary?
Go ahead, Adriana.
you can no longer function as a man.
Even Polly, bro.
That was the final straw.
You killed the dog.
Oh, my God.
It was an accident.
That's gonna trigger Tony.
Sat on the while he was high.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I fell asleep. She got suffocated or something.
You killed little Cosette. I had to suffocate you, you little prick.
I knew it, bro. He's gonna freak out.
Sylvia?
When I came in to open up one morning, there you were with your head half in the toilet. Your hair was in the toilet water. Disgusting.
I told you I had the flu.
Sorry, that was disgusting.
Still, this thing with the dog. How could you not see it on the chair?
You're getting emotional, Tony.
He won't let it go.
Yeah, nope.
I happen to know that you were high at my mother-in-law's wake. We were talking nonstop for 20 minutes. Nothing but gibberish.
My mother's wake. Jesus Christ.
He's losing all respect for Christopher right now. Probably gonna have second thoughts about making him the next in line.
Embarrassment to yourself and everybody else.
Oh, listen to you.
Guys, whoa. We said non-judgmental.
That.
Seriously, Paul, you want to talk about fucking up?
Watch it, Chrissy.
Why? I thought we're being honest here. You want to talk about self-control? How about you, Sil? Fucking every slut you got working in the place when you...
Yo, oh my God. Oh my, this is gonna get bad. This could get really bad.
Oh, yikes.
Christopher, I'm fucking warning you.
There he goes, Mr. Type A personality.
Oh my God, he's gonna bring up
Could
Ralph.
say, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill myself? The way you fucking are, you're gonna have a heart attack by the time you're 50?
Tony, sit down.
You're talking to the boss here.
Guys, maybe someone will smack some goddamn sense into him.
Great, my own mother. Fuck you, you fucking whore.
That's a made guy. Well, that went well.
Yo, I thought he was about to bring up Ralph. I was like, yo, he could really spill it right here.
Yeah. No, that'd be too much. He would have died.
Are you aware that he has a drug problem?
Really?
The man has a hairline skull fracture. We'll admit him, keep him overnight.
Did he slip from...
He's got a hairline skull fracture from, spraying ants or whatever.
Does it hurt?
They gave me some aspirin.
Well, enjoy it, because it's the last fucking drug you're ever gonna take.
I'm sorry, T.
Shut the fuck up and listen to me. You're my nephew, Christopher, and I love you. And that's the only reason you're alive right now. Or anybody else, they would have their fucking intervention right to the back of their head. You and me, we're close. And this is how you repay me. I gotta worry if you're gonna flip over a nickel bag of white powder.
No, Tony, never.
You lied to me. I told you were the future of this family. I gave you that responsibility, and you looked me in the eye, and you accepted it, and you were fucking high.
Tony.
Shut up. Tomorrow morning, you're gonna go with Patsy up to this rehab place in Pennsylvania. You're going in. You're staying in. You're going to every fucking session, and you're gonna keep your mouth shut. Now, if you need anything at all, Patsy's gonna be half a mile away from you in a motel. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Jeez.
Huh? Do you understand?
Tony, I'm sorry. How did I fucking get to this?
Sucks, but he needs that. Don't tell me this man's gonna...
Hey, bro, since he was looking at her at the table that time, I was like, I don't know about this.
Don't do it, Tony.
He's going to do it.
He's literally got a dime right now, like Valentina, but...
And a wife.
Yeah, that's true.
By the way.
You don't talk much, do you? I wish I knew your secret. Lose a leg and start making websites.
That's the whole purpose for people like me, to inspire people like you.
Damn.
She's cold.
What a line.
You expect nothing bad ever to happen when the rest of the world expect only bad to happen. And they're not disappointed.
Well, that's a fucking grim outlook.
She's kind of right, though.
Lying couches and bitch to a psychiatrist. You got too much time to think about yourselves.
Sounds like me, all right.
You're not so bad. You have many fine qualities. You're big and strong, full of life, mischief. I always feel positive towards you.
I'm big and strong. I don't have nobody talking like that to me. What the hell?
You're beautiful. You remind me of that movie star,
It is beautiful.
Greta Garbo.
Yeah, it's happening.
This is crazy.
Wow.
Now, he's not going to want to disclose this one, I'm sure.
At Uncle June's house, bro.
This is crazy.
During his afternoon nap.
Oh, boy.
Yo.
So you call me later? No phone calls for the first 2 weeks. House rules.
Damn.
Said that so cheery.
Brad Miller, congratulations. You got here, dude. That's the hardest part. I'm gonna have to search your bag.
Yeah, no shit.
Cigarettes are okay, right?
Cigarettes are fine.
I'm sure they find drugs all the time.
No chocolate allowed.
No caffeine or substances containing caffeine.
Interesting. I didn't
I
know
guess
that.
caffeine is a drug, but so is nicotine. The hell?
Yeah, which is interesting.
If somebody knows why, let us know.
It's sad, but it's also good for Christopher. He needs this.
Yep.
Well, I'll be busy
Ouch.
for a few days, but see you when I can.
I think it's not a good idea.
What do you mean?
Maybe I call you, but I don't think so.
You didn't like it?
I like it very much.
Oh, that's gonna... Oh, my God.
He likes to chase, too.
Yeah.
My own problems. I don't want all the time prop you up.
What, are you fucking kidding me?
Yo, she's cold, bro.
What you doing? I didn't expect you so soon.
Her hair, bro. She knows she's gonna put two and two together. This man is in his feels, bro.
Big time.
Crazy.
The contrast, just to cut it there was...
A man who, like, gives in to every temptation and a man who's, like, completely resisting.
Yeah, good observation. Damn.
Stop!
She's at Ponytail's house, brother.
Think so? Maybe.
That'd be crazy.
Imagine. Oh, my God. I don't think so. Oh.
Charles Hotel. Oh my God.
What?
It almost looked like Furio was sitting in like a hotel-ish room, right?
No.
Or something.
It was like bookshelf speakers. What hotel has bookshelf speakers in their thing?
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Oh, she's going to show up to his house.
1,000%.
Crazy.
Rosalie told her not to, you know.
Yeah, she's gonna cheat on him for the first time, and he just cheated on her for
And by the way,
300th billionth time.
And she has a spidey sense for when Tony does it, so she could probably sense it, and she's like, "Yep, it's my turn."
That's crazy.
Yo.
Dude's eating leftovers while he's eating a freshly cooked meal with some wine. The other one with some milk.
He got the general on.
Oh my God. All right, let's see the face. Let's see the face. It's still Tony.
It's literally still Tony. But it's the exact freaking outfit that Napoleon wore. That's hilarious.
Oh my God. Comparing Tony to Napoleon is
Boston versus New York.
What year is this? Did we win this one?
No.
They're gonna end it here. Interesting way to end it.
Still leave some questions unanswered.
Tons
You know
of
that zoom there kind of reminded me of
like the drum line, like a general's march.
yeah, but the zoom into the eye reminds me of the end of the episode where Christopher kills his dad's killer when he goes to visit his mom, and he puts the dollar on the fridge, and then it zooms into the eye on the dollar.
This season, you know, I think people were telling us it takes its time to develop the narrative, but we can see now it's picking up ever since, I want to say, episode 8, from what I'm remembering. And this episode did not disappoint. This was another insane episode. And I want to start with Christopher and Adriana's dynamic. And this is something that Adriana has been dealing with for a while. And it definitely ramped up this episode and these past 2 episodes, because you can see that Christopher's drug use was picking up. And I just want to know, starting with Abe, what has been so compelling about this dynamic, and what has been introduced and how it's going forward so far?
Yeah, I think I feel like there's a lot to say with Christopher, because like his drug use like was progressively worse. Like I think he probably started off with like something like coke or whatever, and then he progressively got to heroin. And I think what we see is like as he started to take more responsibility in the family, and as like stuff got harder, is when you can see there's like a correlation between all of that, right? And his drug use ramping. Yeah. And I think Adriana's probably noticed that difference too. Maybe they have a little bit more money, but like ever since he's gotten more stressful in his environment, it's only gotten worse for their relationship. And I feel like that's almost a direct parallel to Tony and Carmela. Like their marriage has also progressively gotten worse. Obviously, Tony is not using, but the way that Tony copes with the stress is exactly what, like, Dr. Melfi and Christopher pointed out. Like, he indulges in eating a shit ton of food. He is always whoring, and he's always like being physical, right? In the same way that Christopher is also, by the way. Mm-hmm. And to me, it's just like this parallel and overarching theme of like, these guys don't know how to deal with all of these stressors and of the job and the life that they live, and the way that they cope and they deal with it is not healthy, and is emotionally abusive and physically abusive, and it makes them shitty people, no matter how good they might be in some respects. Like the shit that they do based on their stress is insane. And it just like, it shows you that no matter what, if you try to be a good guy, I think in their shoes, like there really is no being a good guy anymore. It's like, to me, it almost feels like Christopher was at the point of being too far gone before he went into rehab. And then for Tony, it's like, I brought Tony into this parallel because I think he, in a different way, minus the addiction, he's facing a lot of the same shit. But there's no real like remedy or rehab for like the stuff that Tony does.
Yeah.
So I just thought that parallel was the most like striking thing for me.
Mm-hmm. And with Adriana, Charlie, we see that, you know, she has a way out. You know, it's clear she can pack up and leave. And why do you think, you know, I think there is a cycle when it comes to a spouse or a loved one who's dealing with someone who is an addict. And I want to know, why do you think Adriana just doesn't pack up and leave? I know there's a ton of, you know, variables to that, right? She's part of a family who is in a mob. She's also being investigated, right? So there's so many layers to this. But we saw in this episode her, you know, still sticking right by his side and take him to rehab and still believing in him. Why does that make that so fascinating in this dynamic?
It just shows that she has true like unconditional love for Christopher, I would say.
Yeah.
But she, I don't know. I'm not sure if there are consequences to her walking away. Like she knows too much, or will it worsen the investigation process or something? Maybe she feels like she somehow, some way, even though she's being like used for information, maybe she feels like she can still protect Christopher if she's around. I don't know. I don't know what's going through her head. But it just feels like you can't let go of the person, right? Same situation with Carmela and Tony. Like, could Carmela leave? Yeah, but she doesn't because of her faith. Yeah. Whereas Adriana, I don't know if she really like shares the same faith with Carmela like as closely. Like, I don't know if she's super religious or anything, but there's something there holding her to Christopher. And I think it's just that she really does love him and wants to see him get better. But yeah,
I think it's also the culture that they're in.
Yeah, I want to say there's similarities because, you know, we know the wives. They all understand that there's Gumars. They all understand, you know, there's a ton of situations that the men, that what they do is ridiculous. And, you know, just wondering why, you know, what are the similarities there with Adriana versus the other wives who also experience not something similar to Adriana's going, but I think, you know, have same reasons as to, you know, they could leave if they want to because they're treated horribly.
Yeah, I think the other thing is also like probably money and security, and we've seen Christopher spoil her with gifts like crazy.
Yeah,
maybe that's something that she doesn't want to drop.
Well, that's the thing. If that's the case, then it's not unconditional love.
Right. So I'm analyzing. It feels like she does truly love him, but at the same time, she is benefiting from getting stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that the material pieces, just based on what we've seen from Adriana, you know, I wouldn't know for sure, but it's like I would say the material pieces do not outweigh like the physical abuse, the emotional abuse, the lack of communication, the lack of love, the lack of sex. Like clearly this man can't even like perform because he's high all the time, which is crazy. But like to me, I think it's the cultural aspect of it is like each of them have their own place in this society that they've built in this family. And like the men have their job to earn and put food on the table, and the wives have their job to be faithful to their husbands and make a home. And also just like the family around them. Like if Adriana packs up and leaves, who does she have? Her entire family is intertwined in that, in this mob. And her, you know, potentially her friends as well. Like leaving is leaving everything behind. It's not just, you know, in some cases, relationships, you got like, you know, you married couples, let's say, one person might leave, and then, you know, they leave them, maybe they have kids, maybe they, you know, leaving friends and stuff like this. But this is like their entire culture. It's almost like leaving a cult at this point. You know what I mean? Like it's like everything. If she leaves that place, like she's got to start from absolute zero.
Yeah.
I think that's potentially one of the reasons that's holding her back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we saw her saying, "Oh, I could go down to Daytona and stay with my sister," and they were like, "No, let's not do that."
Mm-hmm.
They were very hesitant towards that fact.
Mm-hmm.
And then, in contrast, we saw Tony getting it with what is it?
Svetlana.
Svetlana.
And then Furio and Carmela's dynamic, that's also progressing, but there is a hesitation on Furio's side where he's like, this is really bad and I shouldn't do this, versus Tony being like, anything that shows up, anyone that gives him attention, or the woman that is hard to get, he's instantly attracted to.
Yep.
And I'm just wondering with Charlie, why, you know, this contrast that is being portrayed and that is being showed, what stands out to you in that aspect?
The genuine attraction that Furio and Carmela have towards each other, and it seems like there's an actual like true connection there. You saw her speaking with Rosalie, right?
Yeah.
About how she feels and like how they connect and how they communicate, and that she, you know, is afraid that she'll never truly be loved and whatever. And Furio makes her feel like she's loved, and she doesn't have that connection with her own husband, which is sad. Whereas with Tony, he's not really looking for that, I would say. He's more about the physical, and he's always with different women. And so it's crazy to me to see like the two people who have like a genuine attraction towards each other are still kind of fighting to not fall into it because it would be cheating, versus Tony just like, She's good looking. She plays hard to get. Let's do it.
Can I challenge something? I agree with you, but I think it's more than that for Tony. Like, I think in all of the women that he chooses, there is something that he's like searching for that's missing in his life that honestly could be like a genuine element that he would want in a partner. Like with Irina, it was like the youthfulness of it, kind of like the innocence, right? That part maybe a little bit less so, but like with Gloria, it was like the independence of her being an independent woman and what that brings. With what the heck was her name? Valentina, the playfulness, the humor, like the things that like bring Tony joy. He was looking for that. Now with Svetlana, it's this almost like attraction of the ideal person that he wants to be, is what I saw, where I think like part of the strong silent type was almost like a juxtaposition of like Tony versus her, because Tony always talks about like the strong type, silent type, and like that man that, you know, society needs us to be. Like, why aren't we like that anymore? But he's always kind of bitching and moaning, right? You know what I mean? Like, he says this stuff, but he's like constantly complaining about X, Y, and Z. Not hearing about that from Svetlana. And that for me was what was his main attraction, is like this idealized person of like, damn, you have shit going really bad for you and you really don't even complain. And it's because so much of like his life is like complaining about X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And while I agree 100%, like when it comes to Carmela and Furio, it's a lot more genuine attraction and there's like actual respect and communication and all of that. Tony just doesn't know how to communicate and look for that with people. I just think he's trying to fill gaps in his love life that he's experiencing through all of these different women. Or even just his life, not even just with that he's lacking with Carmela, but just in his life that he's missing.
What did you take out of that conversation where she basically said Americans think that the world revolves around them?
She's speaking facts. 1,000%. We know this, bro. We 100% know this. We all have family who come from much harder, you know, backgrounds than we do in this place. And like those people back home, like they don't complain nearly as much as we do about the stupid shit that we do on a day to day, and that's because of the society that we brought up in.
They tend to be happier,
and they tend to be happier with less. And like that just shows you that like the pursuit of money doesn't guarantee you any actual happiness. And also like when you're constantly complaining about things, like you're almost like giving into that, the fact that shit is bad. Like you're almost buying into that yourself, that idea. And I think that, you know, the society that we live in is only a platform for that. I think she was spitting facts, to be honest with you.
And usually, I mean, from what I'm understanding about mob culture, that intervention scene was crazy because usually you just whack the person. You're like, yo, you're causing trouble for our mob. We're gonna kill you. Like there's just no point in keeping you around. So I'm wondering, like, whoa, like I think having this scene set in the time period that the show was made in was crazy. But I'm wondering specifically, Charlie, what stood out to you about that scene? It can be filmmaking wise, narrative wise, that you loved, or that's
I guess the mercy that they're showing Christopher, because he's blood, compared to like Tony has whacked people for less, right? Look at Ralphie. Ralphie killed a horse, but like unconfirmed on Tony's side of things, right? He doesn't know for a fact that it was Ralphie, but he still killed him anyway, because he killed an animal, and
his animal,
yeah, his animal. Whereas for Christopher, he's abusing his girlfriend. She's part of the family as well. Christopher's his blood, so like he's excusing it and stuff. I don't know. It just seems.
But what made Tony so pissed off in that scene?
The animal,
the
dog,
yeah, the animal,
same
the dog.
thing. It's back again,
and like he's still like giving Christopher a pass, and like he's like, you're gonna go to the rehab. You don't have any questions about this. Like that's what you're gonna do. And I'm curious to see if it's going to, like, once Christopher's done with rehab, will he still be considered for, you know, to be the next in line to take Tony's position and all that stuff? Is he still going to trust him? Because he lied to Tony while he was high, right? So
I think he will. I mean, I think I think part of the reason that Tony is going through this is almost that he feels like he has no other choice.
Yeah.
Like part of it is blood, but part of it is logistically thinking is like, who else can I trust?
Yeah.
Look what literally happened the episode before.
Yeah, exactly.
And the other thing I'm seeing too is like, the Omerta has gone to shit.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah. 100%.
There's the rules are like broken. There's no rules anymore. It seems because Paulie now laid his hands on Christopher. Obviously, the episode before we had Paulie saying the line like, you know, there's a line that's crossed when it comes to mothers, you know, and Christopher insulted his own mother.
Yeah,
and that's when Paulie, you know, put his hands on him, and beat the shit out of him. So I don't know if that means that it was warranted because he said some shit to his mother. He disrespected her.
I don't know. And just to clarify, I think Omerta is more about like the code of silence and like not ratting.
Okay.
But yes, in the same vein, someone correct me if I'm wrong or we're wrong. But in the same vein, like yes, you can't put your hands on a made guy. You shouldn't be spilling other people's business in the middle of the thing, deflecting all that shit. Like that was crazy.
He called his own mother a whore.
Crazy.
That is insane, bro.
Like that was rock bottom.
Yeah.
It's crazy because the last interaction we saw with his mother was a positive one because he had just killed his dad's killer.
Yeah.
He went to go pay a visit.
But you remember when we saw that, like there was an error in some like alluding to the fact that his mom maybe has an alcoholism problem also.
Okay.
So like I wonder if there's a little bit of like contention from his point of like, this is also a little bit your fault.
I see. Yeah.
Which you know, you can't really argue with that point if that's the case.
Right.
So yeah, and you know, people say addiction and stuff is that, like it can be genetic and hereditary and all that shit. So, it's a little bit of a slippery slope for Christopher, and it was that thing with his mom. I thought was like rock bottom.
Yeah,
rock bottom for him for sure.
I just don't know if that was the most appropriate approach for Christopher.
I don't think there is an appropriate
that way.
I don't think there's an appropriate approach for these people, bro. Like they tried the right way, but like genuinely at any point it was gonna end up in the mob style.
However, I really thought he was gonna be a Ralph. I was like, oh my god.
However, everything went to shit during the intervention, but it resulted to the best outcome for Christopher because it put him in a situation where he couldn't say no to go to rehab.
Right.
Yeah. So even though it was messy, they got the result they wanted.
But look what happened though. The dynamic is you already know the dynamic has already been messed up, but it's even more messed up now, right?
Yeah.
Like you said.
And the thing is, like, these guys, they don't respect, like, they don't think anybody should be asking for help, right? Like, it's the same kind of thing when, you know, they figure out Tony is talking to a therapist. Everyone's got shit to say about it. It's the same thing with rehab. Like, even Uncle Junior was throwing jabs at it. So, like, I'm curious to see what happens when Christopher gets out of rehab. Like, is he gonna be like welcome with open arms? Is it gonna be still a little bit contentious? Is it, you know, that's kind of my curiosity. Is like nobody's really feeling bad for him, or empathizing with him in some sort of way. They're all like, figure your shit out.
Yeah.
And he needs to figure his shit out. But you know, addiction is no joke.
The only one that's sympathizing with him is Adriana.
Yeah.
So,
which my God,
he's lucky to have her.
So
He doesn't
lucky,
deserve
like,
her.
he doesn't, bro.
Yeah.
Insane. We saw a new something new popped up as well with Johnny Sack finding out about HUD and what they did.
Yep.
That opens
can of worms. 100%.
Yeah.
And then Tony's response to that.
Exactly. Tony's response was that, they found out about HUD, so they know about that Ralphie may be gone because of that. And again, like, that's good scapegoat, but not a bad scapegoat at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's tough because, like, that's a legit family in New York. Like, from my understanding and the limited things that we've seen from Carmine, like, it's not a person that you want to cross. And to this point, like, there have been some, you know, bumpy things that happened, like, in terms of relation with Johnny Sack and Ralphie and all that. But, you know, it's never been a full out, like, pitted against each other. And what Tony is doing feels like it will bring that. Like, if he is full on shifting blame to them, all that's going to do is cause conflict between them. And, like, it's the worst time to do this because they're literally in a RICO trial with Junior right now. Like, they're only going to be exposing themselves more if they're in like literal conflict with each other.
And the thing with Junior, like Uncle Junior seemed fine this episode. We didn't see any other signs of cognitive decline.
Nope.
But we spent very little time with him as well.
Yeah, we did. We also saw Syl having dinner with, I'm forgetting his name, but they're already suspecting that Tony
did it.
Ralph.
Yep.
I mean,
You have to at some point. Like, guess what? He already put hands on him, and now the guy's gone. So put 2 and 2 together. Like, you really don't have to be that smart to kind of get it.
And the horse dying and all that. They've got to put all the pieces together.
It's too shady. It's too shady. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of loose ends that feel like they all kind of point back to Tony. So I get it if people are speculating like that. But again, within your own section of the family, it's probably bad to speculate against the boss. So it's just a thought.
What are we thinking about the painting with Polly?
Oh yeah.
Because to me, it seems like, he saw the painting and he's like, oh, this is beautiful. It's priceless. It's,
He said 30
super
Gs.
expensive. He wants to frame it in his house. He puts it up, and then he gets like an uneasy feeling about it. You notice he like turns and looks at it and has like this weird face, and then he's like, I want to change something about this. And then he goes and has an artist paint over it and like put Tony into a Napoleon costume. Hangs it up again at the end of the episode, and then he looks at it again, and he still seems uneasy about it.
Yeah.
Like something's wrong with it, right? I don't know. To me, I'm almost seeing it like he's trying to change Tony's appearance and like who he is in that picture frame, but something is still off.
Yeah.
And it's still like lingering and like looking down on him, and I don't know, it's bothering him. And I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to
Change
make
it again
another
once.
change to this portrait.
Yeah. Like, the way that I see it, and I could be completely wrong here, but like Polly and Syl in particular, like, we used to talk about them as like the most loyal dudes, like the most loyal soldiers for Tony. And I think that they have a like, that's their natural disposition. Like, they want to be loyal to the boss. They want to be good earners, good workers, respectful, all that stuff. So the initial thing of him taking the painting in is almost a little bit of like a reverence to the boss, like having he says like, it's an honor having it in my house. But we also know that he's had his fair share of issues towards Tony and feeling some type of way about the way that Tony has been acting. And I think that him changing the painting was almost an attempt to like revamp who Tony would be. He should be this general that I look up to, that is looking out for me and whatnot. And maybe that sense where he's feeling uneasy and looking back is like, I don't actually trust this guy, and I don't actually feel like he is the best boss for this family.
You're putting you're framing your boss in your home. You're gonna look at it. Obviously, you're gonna confront feelings that you have about this man.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
it's just gonna happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think it's hard for. Now when he turns around and looks at it, he's like, damn, I don't really respect him, but it is a nice painting.
The horse looks great.
Yeah.
I think he's like fighting to put Tony as like this perfect character on the frame, but something still doesn't sit right.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah.
One thing that we like kind of touched on, I think this is probably the last thing that we should talk about, but the therapy session with Melfi.
Oh, yeah, that was really good.
The one thing that I have about this episode is I feel like I didn't have time to breathe between some of the scenes. Like, there was a lot happening, like very quickly, one after the other. But like, that scene specifically, I think said a lot about like where Tony is in his current state mentally, and progressively where Melfi is like calling things out about him, and he's just kind of dealing with it. So I'll turn the tables. Davi.
Yeah.
What stood out to you about that scene?
Man, there was so much happening in this episode that I honestly would love to rewatch it again.
Yeah, I hear you.
Before I even say something.
No, I
so
hear
can we rewatch it again?
That scene?
Yes.
Right now? Charles?
Just like a little bit of it.
Yeah. I think you can
About
go like halfway through.
Yeah, just the Melfi. Just halfway. Just
because I thought it was really important as I was watching it. because she talks to him about his behavior, all that stuff.
Because what stood okay, so all right, I remember one thing. What stood out to me the most about it was like
For a horse without some touchy-feely Freudian shit component to it.
When it was the ducks, it embodied feelings of dread about your family, that something terrible was going to happen.
Just the miserable way she died. Just makes me wonder what kind of fucking toilet world we live in. Friend of the family, little boy, gets shot with an arrow, cuts off the flow of blood to his brain.
Oh, no.
13 years old. He's gonna live, but he's never gonna be right.
How awful for the parents.
Yeah. My nephew. I love that kid like I love my son. But I think he's got a drug problem. Heroin. And it kills me just to say it, because I got so many hopes tied up in this kid.
This is Christopher.
This 9/11 shit, I don't know. The shit that's going on everywhere. It's like some fucking asshole stuck in the whole human race.
Anthony, do any of your associates think about any of this?
I don't know. We don't talk about it. I know it's fucking ridiculous, but I feel like the Reverend Rodney King Jr., Why can't we all just get along?
What's ridiculous about it?
Come on. Don't jerk me off. This is me you're talking to.
You've caused much suffering yourself, haven't you?
My wife prays to God. What kind of God does this shit?
There, like that last sequence is what really stood out to me, because she was trying to give him an opportunity to be like, a little bit more charitable about himself, but he was talking about like how all this shit happens, blah, 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 terrible shit is happening, like who is responsible for this? And he's like, well, I shouldn't say anything. And she's trying to give him like a way out or benefit of the doubt. And then she says like, you've hurt plenty of people, or you've done your fair share of wrong. And he almost doesn't acknowledge it. And then he goes and points and blames God. Mm-hmm. So it's like this whole thing where he knows he is part of the problem of the world that he is complaining about. But in the same vein, he cannot properly like acknowledge it and deal with those consequences. And he's consistently blaming something else. Mm-hmm. That was the part to me that was super important. There were other pieces in that scene that I thought were really, 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 really good. But that scene to me was super important because it almost felt like we were getting to the point of all his issues.
Yeah.
It's like the last episode, whoever did this.
Exactly
It's
that.
that line.
Exactly that.
It's whoever did this but me.
Exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Man.
What an episode.
Yeah. It's just, I think what always fascinates me about Tony is, I think we're always consistently going to be talking about this, is his love for animals. And it happened again in the therapy session where he spoke about the animals first.
Mm-hmm.
Talked about how he was so heartbroken,
And
how he was crying about the animals. And then she's like, okay, but what about the humans in your life?
Mm-hmm.
And then when she confronts him, he's like, oh yeah, you're right. My nephew's done this, done that. He's gone through all of this, and that's horrible. But it just seems like he knows, like you said, he knows that a lot of the cause to the problems that are occurring to the humans around him is because of him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he resorts to talking about the animals and their, oh my God,
their innocence.
Their innocence,
and that's part of why I think he can grieve animals better.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have his guilt tied up into what's happening to them. Like he does not have any direct hurt towards those animals, but if his wife's having issues, his nephew, anything with Ralph, like he's tied up in some of it, and there is guilt baked into it that I don't think he can confront, and that's why he doesn't like allow his emotions to show.
And animals can love unconditionally as well.
Yeah, it depends on the animal.
If you have a dog,
remember,
example. That's why he got triggered about the dog during the intervention, and he wasn't acknowledging Christopher's feelings or Adriana's feelings. He was just pissed about the dog.
That's crazy. Like that's wild. And we had last episode where Pio Mai ran right up to him, and Carmela was like, "Whoa,
yeah."
Mm-hmm.
Like that's."
But I think like part of it almost I think represents, and we talked about this plenty.
Yeah.
So, but it's the one thing that he can claim like innocence in this world are animals. It's like the one thing that does not have any blame in the messed up world that he constantly complains about and constantly has to deal with. And I think that's where he mourns, and that's why he's able to like connect with them
And
better.
then put blame on others and not put blame on himself.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is just gonna get
another good one, man.
Another good one, man. With that being said, y'all, thank you so much for watching and listening to this reaction and discussion. We love you guys and see you soon for more Tony Tuesday. Stay beautiful, y'all.
See ya.